So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to uninstall Solana if you already installed it, and also uninstall Rust. After that, we want to install Rosetta. And if you go to Applications and press Command I or right click and press Get Info, you'll see uh, a check mark where you can checkbox it in to open using Rosetta. You'll want to click that and start a terminal instance with that. The next thing we're going to do is install Rust with the x86 architecture. Just make sure that you're using the Rosetta terminal. So while that's installing, I went ahead and I started a new tab, and I apologize for the quality, but on that other tab, we're installing Homebrew using the x86 architecture. I believe it's already installed correctly for me, and you'll just want to press return here and wait. Sometimes it fails because it doesn't connect to GitHub every single time, but usually if you retry it after a couple of minutes, it will work. Afterwards, what you'll need to do is you'll want to install OpenSSL and coreutils. I don't actually do coreutils right now because I want to show what happens when you don't install all the correct libraries as well. So here I'm doing a arch x86 underscore 64 command, and I'm pointing to user local bin brew, which is the x86 version of brew. And this is how you can run multiple versions of Homebrew at the same time. I, for example, am running both a Homebrew on ARM and on x86 on this Mac. But for Solana, everything needs to be x86. So now we need to just do one last thing before we add Solana, which is add some code to the x86 instructions in cargo config. Okay, and here we're just gonna clone in the Solana library, and while that's cloning, I just want to make sure my Rust code is done. It looks like everything is installed properly. I just cd into Solana, and I run cargo build. This takes like quite a while, so I'm gonna skip a bit. And now that it's installed, I'm gonna try to run the scripts cargo installed.sh, and that fails. The reason it fails is because we didn't install coreutils earlier. I use rbrew install coreutils, which is my alias for the Rosetta version of Homebrew that I have installed on my computer. I will, however, be posting the original alias in the description. So now that that's done, let's just rerun the command and wait. Okay, so we just transport a bit into the future, and you'll see that I got this export path equals users slash Mr. Mac slash Solana. You'll want to go ahead and add that to where you're calling your command line to. Usually this is your bash profile or your Z profile, depending on which terminal you're using. This is fairly different on every computer, so I would really recommend you doing your own research on this one. And I just added to the bottom of my Z profile. It still doesn't work. I always forget you have to reset your terminal after you do this, but it does work off on the side.